good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1231. Welcome to a Saturday weekend edition of Hobby Evolution. Hopefully, you're enjoying the weekend, doing some card stuff. If you're in Cleveland, enjoy the National. Actually, you're probably enjoying the National right now. It's almost 10 o'clock out in Cleveland. Watched some more content yesterday of watched Orlando Collector's Dream here in our chat usually. He did a quick run through of the YouTuber get together on Thursday night. Let's see what else. I did check out some more of Jeff Wilson's trade night live stream. What else? Card Cutter Garrett watched some of his videos. Mike Moynihan watched his latest video. Oh man, what else? I watched a ton. A ton. I don't have FOMO. I'm like living vicariously, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to live vicariously through those that are there. And looking forward to being back in Chicago next year, and in fact, the next 3 years in Rosemont. So, looking forward to that. We'll do our own little Hobby Evolution get together again next year. And I was actually kind of thinking about that this morning. Like, what should we do? I enjoy doing it at Shoeless Joe's down the street, but we'll kind of take a poll as we get close next year. If we do Shoeless Joe's again, it would be kind of fun. I know that the YouTuber get together, they do pizza. I think it would be kind of nice to buy pizza for everyone for your support. Then we would have to find a different location. So we've got a year to plan. So I'll think of something as we get closer to July 2025 for next year's National. So looking forward to that. I did a lot of errand running yesterday. I came home and I'm like, man, I've got a lot to talk about on tomorrow's show. And then how quickly I forget, but I did run some errands. I did some shipping before I went out and about. Shout out to Ray, viewer of the show. He purchased my latest refractor lot that was on eBay, and we met up. He's local, so we met up and dropped that off. And he goes, I hope I wasn't being kind of shady. I can't remember the word he used, but shady for using the 25% discount. I'm like, that's my price point is what it was, because I take into account you can buy 6.99 cards. So I take that into account when I price bigger item stuff like that. $1.50 cards, $2 cards, doesn't really matter. But when I list some of the bigger ticket items, I do take into account that 25% discount. Also understanding you're paying an additional $6 to get that if you buy 99-cent cards, which there are plenty. That's why the website's called, or the link is called 99centcards.com. Takes you right to my eBay store. Buy 7 or more at regular price, and you save that 25% at checkout. So thank you, Ray. So did that deal in the morning, and then got my fifth time was the charm to finally get my oil changed. I think I talked about this, my Jiffy Lube 0 for 3 experience. And I was actually 0 for 4 because I was like 2 minutes late to a different Jiffy Lube last week. So I went to that one again after I met up, because it's like a few exits back on my way back over to where I live. So went there, got in. They had everything they needed. They weren't taking lunch. Everything was working fine. Thank God. Finally got my oil changed. Now, this problem, if I was a real man, I wouldn't have this problem, because I could change my own oil if I were a real man, but I'm not. I'm a fake man who can't change his own oil. So oil changed. And then let's see, what did I do from there? So then, so this is annoying. And I wanted to get this like professionally installed from the jump when we moved into the house. Way over budget on the rebuild here. So we just kind of hung the TVs. I've got Ethernet ports in all the rooms, but I'm not direct. I'm direct connected to the internet on this computer. But now, watch this. TV turns on. Nothing works except for the volume. The volume works. Arrows don't work. Home button doesn't work. Volume works and the power works. That's it. You're like, well, change the batteries. That's the first thing I did. It's like Control Alt Delete restart on your computer. That's where my tech savviness ends. I unplug it, I restart it. If that doesn't work, you got to call somebody. So change the batteries out in the remote, because that's what the problem has been in the past. Didn't work. Okay, so that's fresh batteries, so it's not a remote problem. So then I had to Google, why is my Amazon Fire Stick remote not working? And it's like, try this, try this. They're like 3 or 4 things. Troubleshooting. None of those worked. Son of a bitch. So I haven't been able to watch TV in here, or have it on in the background. So it's been YouTube the last couple of days. So I've got that issue going on. My rec room TV is not hardwired in, and it freezes the Wi-Fi for some reason. And I've got the stations. I don't know if the house is significantly bigger than the last house. It was perfect in the last house, but I think just the size of this house, I don't know if there's the 2 satellites are not enough. Our main router is back here in the basement, and then I've got a satellite in my shipping room, and then we've got a satellite upstairs in the kitchen. So I'd like to get that figured out. I'd like to get my TV, and then we have a TV in the kitchen that's also we have to like restart it every single day. So my wife and I are talking about this. I'm like, we've got a lot of like just minor issues that we got to figure out. And she's like, well, she's like, the people I know are really expensive. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, but we need somebody that knows what they're doing. Like, I don't want half-assed. Like, I don't want to have this like every 6 months. So, well, let's look into Best Buy, the Geek Squad. Okay. So my wife's like, it might be easier to just go in and talk to them as opposed to just looking it up online and figure out they don't do what we need them to do. I'm like, okay. So I'll put that Friday, pencil that in, meet up on the deal, card deal, oil change, Best Buy, got to go to Walmart. What did I have to get at Walmart? Oh, bubble mailers, large bubble mailers. It's like when it rains, it pours. Like I had 2 different, I shouldn't say never. I rarely need large bubble mailers for like magazines. I sold one of those classic 1990 classic games. And I had those like back-to-back sales, and I'm like, shit, I'm out of large bubble mailers. So I needed to get large bubble mailers. I don't buy them in bulk because I just don't ship that many things. So I can just run and get a 10-pack, and that'll last me for a year probably. So I needed that. Then I'm like, well, I need to get back on my e-bike, and I need a new rear view mirror, and I need a new cell phone holder. I'm like, Walmart can probably do the trick. Man, they were like, I think I took the last of their cell phone. It's kind of a cheapy thing. We'll see how it works. And then what was the rear? They had one rear view mirror left, and it's kind of a shitty one, but I think it's actually going to do a better job than the previous one I had. So got those, and I got those installed. So now I just need to get on my bike and ride. That's all that's holding me back. The battery's charged. I found the battery charger. I found the key to the battery. I've got a mirror. I've got a cell phone holder. Now it's just me holding myself back from getting on my bike and riding. So I did that, and then had to get groceries. So just a whole Friday full of errands. And so I go to Best Buy, and I go in, and there's like, of course, there's a line for Geek Squad. Now, inside Best Buy, the Geek Squad is basically just, by the way, I am the youngest. I'm 42, and I was the youngest person in that Geek Squad line by 40 years. I'm like, I feel out of place here. It was nursing home day. I'm sorry for age discriminating, but it was elderly day at it was senior citizen day in the Best Buy Geek Squad line. So I'm looking at this line and I'm like, oh my God. So I go to customer service and I'm like, I just have a quick question. Like, I just have a question on your services. I don't need any help with it. I just have a question like for in-home like work. I've got a few TVs that I need to get hardwired. I have Ethernet ports. I just need somebody to plug them in because I don't think I have the capability to do. I've tried it and I don't know what I'm doing. I've got some other issues that I can't figure out. So she goes and asks one of the Geek Squad guys, and he's like, I don't know. Like these like Geek Squad guys, like I'm surprised they can talk to other humans in that line. So he didn't know. So she's like, here's a phone I'm going to get. It's like, they don't know. Like, I'm going to give you a phone number to call. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't even get an answer to what type of services are provided. So I'm like, maybe the Best Buy Geek Squad in home is not what I'm looking for. So the journey continues. I may just call in some favors. I've got some buddies that might know a little bit, like, just can you come over and just like help me out? Although my buddy Mark came over and looked, he's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, come on. You said you could do it. So that's what I did yesterday. A lot of errand running, did some shipping, did a little bit of listed some 75s. You know what card sold probably the fastest? I see John Keating's in the house. John probably already knows the answer. 1975 tops. What sold the fastest of the cards I listed? This one right here. Herb Washington, pinch runner. That card sold the fastest out of my 75s. And I listed a Warren Moon rookie. I listed another Bobby Witt Jr. helmet patch rookie. Keith Wilkes rookie from 75 Tops Basketball. Some other random stuff watching the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. So, which we'll talk about that. And John talks about Dr. Jim, the Dr. Jim Beckett. What did I learn last night? I learned some stuff reading an old Beckett Baseball price guide magazine. So we'll talk about that. Let's get to the chat real quick. Turkey Cards in the house. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Brian's in the house. Good morning. I think Brian's going to have some news he's going to announce soon. I'll let him do that. The parking lot didn't look fun. No, the traffic and parking lot, but does it ever? And there have been, like I did see, I think probably more, there's always complaints about the National and every card. Like the parking lot at the Madison Card Show doesn't look fun either. There's like no place to park. That's the number one complaint I get at my show. And it's just, I don't have any way to rectify that. I'm going to have to put on, if anybody watches Cubs games, I think I'm going to have to do the Chicago Cubs urge you to take public transportation by taking the red line, the CTA red line. So Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Royals 417. What's happening? Going to all 3 Cubs Royals games this weekend. Sorry about game 1. Yes, game 1, disgusting. 6-0 loss for the good guys, the Cubs. The bad guys win in Kansas City. Scott Jonas, what's up? I finally got a full-time job, and where I work, we make the flat rate mailboxes. Very cool. I'm curious. I don't know if you can say where you work, but I'm curious because I had some clients that were in the cardboard industry, in the paper industry. Flipping Sports Guy, I think the mountain of cards is blocking the Wi-Fi signal from hitting all the spots. That actually could be. Now, the strange thing is, here's the strange thing about the Wi-Fi signal. The Wi-Fi signal in my rec room is like the weakest. And like my TV always freezes. But it's like a straight shot. It's like a straight shot. The only thing it's like probably the closest, it is the closest electronic using the Wi-Fi in the entire house to the router, and the signal's spotty, and there's no cards blocking it. It's the treadmill. Yeah, the only thing, our small little closet workout room with a treadmill and a little no, not a little, but a one of those bike things where you do that. That's the only thing in the way. Only thing in the way. There's no like concrete walls in between. I don't get it. Philly Joe says, congrats, Scott. Can we get discounts on the flat rate boxes? George, what's happening? He's drinking beer and staring at my empty aquarium with a rock in it. Very relaxing. Are you still sitting outside? Or did you get home in the rain? Because I saw one of George's tweets where it was raining, but he was able to stop by and have a beer with a little coverage from the rain. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Been watching Jeff Wilson national videos all morning, awaiting hobby evolution. Very cool. Brian says, every time Bo says satellite, I think of Four Christmases and Vince Vaughn yelling, it's not a satellite, it's a satellite dish. That is one of the most underrated Christmas movies of all time. That has become a mainstay in my Christmas movie rotation, along with Home Alone, Christmas Vacation. What else? I'm not a big Christmas Story fan. I know that's evil to some people to say that, but I'm not a big Christmas Story fan. What else is a go-to? Of course, my Hallmark Christmas movies. Elf is a good one. What the hell else do I watch? But Four Christmases is up. Office Christmas Party. That's a solid top three. My solid top three: Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Office Christmas Party. The Night Before is up there as well, and Four Christmases. Those might be my top. Those might be my top five: Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Four Christmases, Office Christmas Party, The Night Before, and then Elf would probably be just on the outside of the top five. John uses the large bubblers more on rack than anything. Yeah, there you go. Fuck the mirrors. Satch said, don't look back. Geek Squad is one step up from professional dog walker. I would agree with that. George says, John, had you pulled the heist of the day at the Nationals when you ran away from Mike? I saw that. John Keating makes an appearance in Mike Moynihan's latest video. From the, man, that line. See, that's why I don't take advantage of the early VIP. I know some people are like, you gotta go in early, but especially by Friday, Saturday, like I've already been there. I'm there first thing Wednesday through the end of the show. Thursday, I'm there all day. By Friday and Saturday, there's so many people. I hate, how I love lines. I hate them. So I don't care about getting in early. I will wait until a half an hour after the show has started so I don't have to wait in a line. And I'm okay with that. John says, if you want to impress the 19-year-old dude with the neck tattoo, then call it an RJ45 instead of an Ethernet jack. Philly Joe says, that ain't right, John. Joe gave your Schmidt Butte to Warren at the National. He won it in Hobby Palooza. Much appreciated. Dr. Jim insulted me last night about the herb. Cooter says, don't use bubble mailers for magazines. Mail them between two pieces of cardboard. Chi and more secure. So I do when I ship magazines, I do sandwich them in between cardboard and then put them in a bubble mailer. So and then I try to make them a little bit so they don't go flat. I like to have a little bit of cushion in there so they're a little oblong or odd shaped, so they're not just flat and easier to get bent that way. John says, I believe he offhandedly said that card is legendary in one person's mind. I think I've heard him mention that in a podcast before. Philly Joe says thumbs up. Cooter says cheaper. There will be weeks of shows regarding the Nationals challenges. Oh yeah. It sounds like traffic, parking, and bathrooms were the top 3 complaints that I've seen. But I mean, honestly, in the crowds, and a lot of people, so a lot of people have said, like, I don't know if I've heard anybody outwardly say there's more people than there was last year, but it may seem that way because your footprint is much smaller than the footprint in Chicago last year. I can't remember the square footage, and I don't know Cleveland square footage, but I know it's a significantly larger footprint in Rosemont than it is in Cleveland. So it just appears to be more packed. There's less tables, less space, more people at those spaces, giving you the optical illusion. John says the only public transit to the IX Center is Spirit Airlines on the other side of the fence from the hall. I was talking in terms of public transportation. I was talking about Madison, the Madison Card Show, taking public transportation. Tracy, good morning. George says people complaining about parking have never had to find a place in Korea. We just leave cars parked in front of cars in neutral so you can play car Tetris and move them out of the way. I guess that's a benefit to having very small cars. You can just push them, pick them up. John says LRS, not knowing they are free, will tell you to start sponsoring the company that makes the flat rate boxes. Tracy says, have a blast. Love going to Kaufman. Bink Scott's in the house. Good morning. Herman's here. What's happening? Good morning. John says, 4 Christmases is incredible. Flip the tube. Hey, by the way, John had mentioned waffle iron in regards to the book Shoe Dog and said, did you even read the book? I finally got to that part. I haven't read too much of it since I got back. I finally got to the waffle iron part, and I'm laying in bed last night and I'm reading it and I'm like, waffle iron. That's what John meant. It only took me a week to figure it out, but I finally got to the part where the waffle iron came into play in the Nike story. Brian says 100. It's a Christmas modern classic. Red leather, yellow leather. I made it home, George says, filled the aquarium with dirt and my rock, then went back out and drank more. Back home drinking again. Liver, don't fail me now. Hey, it's the freaking weekend. Baseball card curmudgeon, what's going on? Good morning. Cooter says, save the bubble mailer. Just tape the cardboard on all 4 sides and slap a label on the cardboard. Bubble mailer does nothing. You are passing cardboard. Interesting. I don't know. I like that extra padding. Oh, you are padding cardboard. There you go. John says that long VIP line went less than 10 minutes, then into the VIP lounge, which was huge and had bathrooms. The non-VIP line was brutal and def not the place to be. Okay, 10 minutes. I could handle 10 minutes in line. John says the cars are 4 feet long in Korea. George has a car longer than a Cadillac. We have started compensating with our cars. There you go. So I was on the couch last night, and I was tired of flipping through Twitter. There's so much. I was watching the Olympics ceremonies, and there's so much outrage over one of the skits. We won't go into it, but I'm really not offended by much. And I certainly wasn't offended by what was going on in the opening ceremonies. So I'm watching the opening ceremonies and I'm seeing all these complaints and bitching, and along with all the politics, it's like, Jesus Christ, I'm so tired of this bullshit. But that's on me for looking at it. So I'm like, I'm just going to put my phone down. I just step away. Like, I don't have to lay on the couch and read all of these tweets and all of these angry Facebook comments. Just put the phone down, take a breath, and read a Beckett. So that's what I did. So I'm laying on the couch, ceremonies on in the background, got my Beckett from 2006. Now, 2000 to 2012, I was collecting off and on, but I was like not immersed in the hobby is what I am, certainly is what I am now, and what I was even in 2012, 2014, 15, and so on. So a lot of those sets, especially when it comes to like Heritage, Allen and Ginter, Archives, some of those earlier sets, I don't know much about. Now, I didn't learn until yesterday that short prints in 2006 Allen and Ginter were sprinkled throughout the set. I've just always been under the impression that, well, short prints in the modern era, short prints, well, I guess even going back vintage, where are the short prints? They're the high numbers typically. So I was just always under the impression that, well, short prints are cards 500 to 550 or 400 to 450 or whatever it might be. And I recall having a Ken Griffey Jr. 2006 Allen and Ginter that sold out of my eBay store, and I think I probably listed it for $250. And it sold really quickly out of my eBay store. And lo and behold, that's a short print, but it's like in the middle of the set. And so the short prints are like just randomly. And I was reading it was a product review on 2006 Allen and Ginter. Probably be even quicker if I just go grab that issue. Here's Cardboard Connection. So short prints. So now it's like, maybe I should go back and read some more old issues and product reviews so I know. Ken Griffey Jr. was card number 5, short print. Card 15, Austin Kearns. 25, 35. Oh, I'm seeing a trend. 45. Oh, but then it's 50 through 59 are all short printed. This is 2006 Allen and Ginter. My buddy John Lieber, card 65 is a short print. Card 75, not a short print, but card 85 is. Let's see. Card 105 is, but 95 isn't. Card 115, card 125, 135, 145, cards 150 through 159. So there's really not much of a pattern here, except with the exception of most of the ending with 5s are short prints. So there you go. 2006 Allen and Ginter. Learned that from reading a Beckett last night, and I've gotten, since I bought that like huge collection lot of Becketts a few months ago, I've got plenty from those eras that I can go back and look through. So learning something new every day. George says there's some outrage from South Korea being announced as North Korea. Oh, I did not see that. I don't think I saw the boat for South. That was towards the end because I was watching. I had some of it on during it going live during the day. And then, of course, it's replayed for the American audience in prime time. And I'd watched, I don't know, maybe I had 30 minutes of it on in the background doing some sorting. And last night, I think by the time it would have got to South Korea, I think I had already gone to bed maybe, or was off doing something. The IOC done had to call the South Korean president and apologize. Oh, wow. That's some crazy shit. Philly Joel sold an SSP photo variation. Had it processed at 150 or best offer, sold in about 5 minutes. Learned my lesson. Yeah, it's some of those super short prints and even short prints are tricky, but fun when you realize what they are. It's fun. So that's about all I had for today. I thought I had more. Cooter says you should compile a cheat sheet you can reference that has the high series numbers and SP so you can reference when you sort groups of cards. That's a really good idea, Cooter. That is a fantastic idea. And it's I wish there were like I've learned here over the last few days. There's two things. I wish, and I didn't even know this until Cooter brought it up, but that is a great idea for like a website. Like just go find like what are the and I think Mike Summer, Wax Pack Hero, does a good job with first Bowmans. Because like checklists don't, you go to a checklist and you don't know, you go to 2020 Bowman and it doesn't, usually most checklists won't say first Bowman next to it. But a short print, like shortprints.com. I'm gonna do this blindly and just type in shortprints.com. Nothing. I wonder if you could buy that website. Let's see. Type of domain you want. Shortprints.com. Let's see. It is taken. You can get shortprints.net. Let's see. Shortprints.shop. Shortprints.net. That's a good one. So there you go. Somebody go buy it. I'm not gonna. The other one that came to mind was I wish there was a website that had all of the Olympics rosters, because I'm like, I would like to know like who's in the Olympics. Like, is this person, like, I'm going through Olympics cards from like 2016. Is this person in the 2024 Olympic Games? And it's kind of difficult. Like, you have to jump around. You have to jump through hoops to find who's on roster. You would think like Olympics.com would just be like, here's the rosters for all of the countries and all of the sports. But there's not, at least I haven't found one. If you know of one, let me know, because I'm still looking. John says, vintage-wise, short prints weren't always high numbers. They were often swapped out with other slots on a sheet randomly. That's interesting. Brian says, I'm so green, I'm sure I miss short prints often. I think, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, the story of me finding the Ronald Acuna super short print, 3 dealers, myself included, 3 dealers passed on a super short print Ronald Acuna in a box. It was in a quarter box. I bought it because it was a Ronald Acuna Gold Cup, rookie Gold Cup, and I'm like, oh, I could sell this easy for like $3. I get it for a quarter. I'll sell this for $3, $5 maybe. And it wasn't until I laid out all the cards I got, and somebody like quote tweeted and said, can you find the $400 card in this lot? I'm like, what? I'm like, it's probably not the Danny Cannell autograph. I mean, I'm not passing up any autographs for a quarter, especially Danny Cannell. I think the Danny Cannell auto sold for like $8. That's a win right there. I paid $5 for the whole lot of 20 cards. Sure enough, Ronald Acuna short print, one had sold for like $400, but this is still like kind of in the height, and it was a few months old comp. I think I listed it for, I might have listed it at 400 or best offer, and I had an offer of 250, like almost like not immediately, but within 24 hours. And I'm like, I paid 25 cents for this. I will take 250. Paid for, shipped, everything went well. But I didn't know it at the time. The guy I bought it from had no idea, and he got it from another dealer. So it passed through 3 dealers' hands, and it took a tweet for somebody to realize. Now, I probably would have eventually, once I went to list it, I would have figured it out because I would have comped it. I probably would have comped it. I don't think I would have just blindly listed that card. I would have looked. It's like, oh, it's a Gold Cup, because I didn't know it could be a $3 card, could be a $10 card. That would have been a card that I would have comped. A lot of stuff I don't comp. Most stuff I don't comp, which is why you should follow my eBay store and you might get a good deal. Brian says, I can't even find a checklist for the Olympic Panini stickers at McDonald's. Are those out right now? Dude can't even plug in an RJ45. How the hell is he going to compile a data? You know, the funny thing is, I can plug in an RJ45. The problem is my TV does. I don't think my TV has the jack for it. So that's my problem. So maybe I can't hardwire it in. I don't know. That's my problem. I can plug in an Ethernet, but when there's not a plug to plug it into, that's where I have the problem. But I can compile databases. I can. That's my superpower, is compiling databases and spreadsheets. Let's see. They're out, and having 3 kids means I have a lot. What else? That's about all I had for today. Happy Saturday. Speak now or forever hold your peace until tomorrow morning. We will go live again tomorrow morning, probably about the same time, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price. Save 25% off at checkout, 99centcards.com. listed. Didn't list too much yesterday. Did list about 150 cards maybe. Mostly 75 singles, 75 baseball singles. I'm going to do some shipping today. It is the weekend. I've been like, since I returned, I have been like full bore in the basement between sorting, listing, and shipping that if it stays sunny like it is right now, I might just touch grass. That's what the kids say these days. Go touch grass. I might touch some grass today. So we will see. What else? I will be in Janesville. So as I'm processing a lot of this new stuff that I've pulled in, I haven't even begun making bargain boxes for the Janesville show, which is coming up in a couple weeks, Sunday, August 11th. I don't think I'm going to have quarter boxes there. So Shane, I know Shane wanted to come out. I've just got too much to process and I want to focus on dollar stuff right now. And I really haven't put together I haven't even started putting anything together for quarter boxes. So I think I'm going to focus on dollar boxes for Janesville. And may take old dime boxes. And if I make a few sales out of that, good for me. So I think I'm going to focus on dollar stuff for Janesville on August 11th. So come out and see me in Janesville. Chris, I was going back through some messages. I know I've got to bring hockey for you. What else is going on? Saturday, August 24th is the next Madison Card Show. Confirmed 200 tables, 4 rooms, I should say, 3 ballrooms and conference room. So 200 tables, August 24th at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Did confirm the TCG room will be back open. I've already had a few people reach out, say they want to come back to the TCG room. Perfect. Did confirm it is open. Contracts are signed. 200 tables for August. We may only do 2 ballrooms and the TCG room in September, though. Right now, it sounds like the State Street Ballroom is booked in September. So we may be down a room in September, but that's still we're 2 months away. We're almost exactly 2 months away from that show. So that could change and that could open back up. So we'll see. But 200 tables on Saturday, August 24th, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Joe Olivo's in the house. He says TCDB shows short prints as well as first Bowman's. Interesting. I did not realize that. That's good to know. So shortprints.com, we don't need it. So don't go, or shortprints.net. Don't go out and buy it. All righty. So, hey, have a great day. I don't know if Hobby Hotline is going on at 10 o'clock this morning. I think they're on the main stage, so I don't know if they're doing a regular show. I doubt it. I doubt they're doing their 10 a.m. show today. I think they're on at like 3 from the main stage at the National. So Hobby Hotline coming up later. What else is going on? That's all. So hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. 99centcards.com is my eBay store. Have a wonderful Saturday. We will go live again tomorrow morning, probably same time, 8:30 Central Time. I'll see you tomorrow.